What's up? All right, who's ready to learn the single most important skill that you can adapt today to start living a happier and successful life? And by the way, if you're hopping on live, I am Monica Lennon and I am dual broadcasting. So let me go ahead and paste this on my Instagram as well. If you're hopping on live, then just holler at me, say hello, say what's up. Love to shout you out and see what you're up to. If you're watching the replay, type a 2 and I'll connect with you afterwards. So hopefully my Instagram is up and running. If you're on Instagram, hopping on live as well, we're going to be talking about the single most important skill that you can actually adopt today and start using and growing as a habit so that you can start living a life of joy and fulfillment and really stepping into your greatness. And I actually learned this from one of my mentors today, Justin Prince. So if you are watching this, this is what I've learned from you. And now I'm passing it on and paying it forward to my peeps on Facebook and on Instagram. So what is up? How's your guys' evening today? This is something that really hit close to home when I was learning this, this from my mentor today. And I really wanted to share it with you because it's something that I have been intentionally practicing myself over the past couple of years. I know as a business owner and as a mom and as a wife, I really learned that being intentional, if you want to grow a relationship with others, you have got to be intentional with this one single most important skill. So this is really a life application that I really wanted to share with you. So if you guys are hopping on, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Bye? How are you? Good to see you on here this evening. I hardly ever do these lives in the evening. It's usually during lunchtime. So it's awesome to see you guys on because it's different, peeps logging in. But, this skill that I'm about to share with you, something that I've been practicing over the past few years, not only in my business, but also in my personal life, has really changed the game for me because I know when I wasn't intentional in my relationships, I was drifting and they were drowning, right? And so when you start implementing this skill as a habit every single day, I will promise you that next year, you'll see that, you've grown so much in the relationships that you've grown, whether it's with your spouse or your kids or in your business, the relationships that you're creating, right? As far as communicating and connecting with others in different networks is going to be so different from what it is today. If you're seeing that you're suffering in any of those areas, I will tell you that, it's really this skill that is probably lacking in your day-to-day interactions with others. And here, it says it's the strongest driver of personal excellence, right? And it's the single biggest predictor of performance, even in the workplace. So this is huge, right? If you're even, working in your 9-to-5 or even in your business, it's the single biggest predictor of performance in your workplace and in your business. And even, as an average, this skill, can even increase you in earning an extra $29,000 a year if you get this right. And, if you really want to quantify that into your life or your business, because, you've got intentional with this skill, what would that do for you? What would that really allow you to do financially, as far as debt and your struggles in debt and really in your investing ability, right? So that's why I'm going to be talking to you about this tonight. And it's this skill called emotional intelligence. And how many of you guys have heard of that term before? Emotional intelligence, your emotional quotient. It's referred to as your emotional quotient, your emotional stability and maturity, right? If you have heard of that before, let me know below. Let me know, I've heard of it before below in the comment section, because this is so important. There's this thing called intelligent, your IQ, right? Your intelligent quotient, right? And so what's the difference between the IQ and the EQ, right? Which is what I'm talking about today, your emotional quotient versus your IQ. Well, IQ is really your ability to retain and learn information, right? Remember back in the days in our childhood, it was all about your IQ. If you had a high IQ score, you were deemed as smart and intelligent. Well, today's study shows that your IQ is just your ability to retain and learn information, right? And, as we grow, that kind of gets capped off. But with your emotional quotient, your EQ, It's your ability to identify yours and other people's emotions. So, becoming self-aware of how you react to the environment around you, or how you respond, right? Your emotional awareness to yourself and your emotional awareness of other people's emotions. So that's the driving difference. And I'm going to be talking to you about how your emotional quotient is going to be the driving force to whether or not you experience a life of joy, fulfillment, and really stepping into your greatness in your business or in your personal life, right? And so, inside our Gracious Hustle community that I have inside our community with women, where we really come together and really grow together in life and in business, we're hosting a 14-day challenge for us to really step into our emotional, intelligence. And so if you're a woman looking to, really step that game up in that part of your life, then, type in count me in, and I can actually put you into that group, see if it's for you, and we can really run with this together starting next week. So what are the benefits, right, of having an emotional intelligence, right? Oh, hold on real quick. Let me just get my husband to get the dog. Babe, get Buddy. He's totally barking right now. I'm on live. Okay, so what are the benefits, right, of really building up this emotional intelligence and maturity and stability, right? Well, it allows you to assess your emotions, right? Because can we get a hands up if you guys, especially as women, we react to our circumstances. Sometimes we have those time of the months that allow us to react to circumstances when the next day we feel so bad when we end up apologizing. It was that time of the month. I really didn't mean to say that. So can you accept my apology? So if you guys can relate to that, that's really what this building of that skill will really allow you to benefit from, right? It allows you to become self-aware when you are, when you are angry, when you're frustrated, when you're reacting, you can ask yourself, why am I acting this way? Was I super hungry? Like, do I get hangry? And then, it allows you to fix that, because you can now start eating more frequently, so you don't have to become more emotionally angry during those situations, right? So we'll talk more about that. And then you become more stable in your maturity, right? Because it's all about growth, right? If you're one of those people like myself who really is intentional about growing personally and into the best version of yourself, come 1 year from now, 5 years from now, this is something that might be missing from you and stepping into that best version of yourself. So it's so important to understand that your emotional intelligence is something that we really need to focus on intentionally every single day. And, John C. Maxwell, he says that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less, right? So this is something that, if you're a mother, if you're a teacher, if you're someone in the workplace, a manager, or even if you're someone who's building a team in your business, right? Leadership is influence. It's nothing more, nothing less. And influence is, you're an influencer to someone somewhere, right? Whether it's a positive influence or a negative influence, right? So what does that mean for you? It means that, everyone that you come across, like, you have a certain degree of influence that you're putting into their life, right? So, and they also say that, the best in, as a matter of fact, in heartmath.org, they say that your influence is contagious, like literally the essence of you inside, the energy that you expel, the energy and emotion that you bring out to the work or the place that you're living in, it is actually contagious. So, how many of you guys have experienced feeling someone that's 10 feet away from you? You don't even talk to them, right? But you can actually feel their energy, like, oh, she's pissed off. I don't even know her. I haven't even heard what she's saying, but I could tell. I feel that vibration in her. That's really what's going on, because you actually have some electrical currents inside of you that's going on, that people have that vibrational human instinct to feel your presence, whether it's positive or negative. So that's what I'm saying about being an influence, right, of people who are around you. You got to be more conscious and self-aware of what you're bringing into that area, because, sometimes we ask ourselves, how come this person seems like she's making so much more friends than today, but how come I'm here, like I'm actually acting that I'm friendly, I'm acting like I'm friendly, but people can sense that I'm actually wanting to be friendly, but inside me I'm expelling these emotions and matching, you know, the vibration that people are feeling, which is why they're probably not wanting to stay next to you. So, you know, I've been there before too, right? And I've been, you know, comparing myself to others. So I know what it feels like, because I've been on that other side of the equation where people were not necessarily gravitating towards me because of the energy that I was expelling. That I wasn't aware of, right? Because it's deeply rooted in our subconscious, right? Over time, like our habits start forming, and we don't even know that we're giving off this negative vibe, right? That people are feeling, but we can't. We have this false narrative that we think that we're starting to tell everyone, like, no, screw them. If they don't want to hang out with me, then that's their loss, right? But maybe deep down, it's something that we've got to start working on, because we're not aware of the things that we're bringing into the as our influence, which might be negative, right? Okay, so ask yourself, you know, if your energy has been positive or negative, right? You want to ask yourself, am I bringing apathy? Am I broadcasting apathy or passion, right, into my presence? Like for us business owners as network marketers, are we bringing in apathy? Like, what are you sharing on your Facebook social media, right? Are we always, you know, passive aggressively sharing stuff like, you know, I don't really care about what people think. It's all, you know, that's their bad, right? But then deep down, that's really a negative, you know, you're expressing negativity that way, thinking that you're positive, right? So what are you really exuding outside and showing to others? Are you broadcasting indifference, or are you broadcasting purpose, right? Here's another way to say it. Are you a germ or vitamin C, right? Because there's one or the other. A germ influences other germs, right? But vitamin C influences someone to get better. So another way to put it is questioning, are you a germ or are you vitamin C? So of course we all want to be vitamin C to our environment, right? Because that is something that, you know, other people would gravitate towards, that they want, right? And, you know, if you're being a germ to the environment, then that's definitely, you know, you're exponentially growing that type of environment around you, and that's something that we don't want, right? As a parent, or as a business owner, or someone, you know, leading a team, right? So really ask yourself that. And in our Gracious Hustle community, we're going to be doing this challenge where we're asking questions to really get more intentional about what we, you know, our thoughts that we've been having for the past week, and whether it's positive or negative. We're going to be going through that and really holding each other accountable and building up the habits that are serving us to really build up our emotional intelligence. Also, you know, I want to share this with you, that we experience life first emotionally. So everything that we do, it's based first on our emotions. Second, the second thing that it comes to is rational thinking, right? So, you know, we have these emotional, or these electric currents that are going through our bodies, right? So we react emotionally first. So, you know, when we end up acting out of anger or frustration, you could see that, you know, our blood starts boiling, and you could start feeling we start probably sweating, or our physiology just starts being different. So that's our emotions running, right? And when we react based on those emotions, that's when things can go wrong. That's why they say never quit on a bad day, right? Well, never quit your business or your life on a bad day, because you're running on high on emotional steam, right? So the best thing to do is just to pause, right? And to breathe, and just to give it time to really, for you to assess the situation and become more aware of what was going on during that situation. And really, second is to act rationally. So then, you know, now you're giving yourself time to really react and build that emotional intelligence, because you're becoming aware of your reaction, right? If you're understanding what I'm saying, then I'd love like a thumbs up, because yeah, Lena, exactly. So it's the bacteria. You're either a germ or vitamin C. I really love that analogy as well, because, you know, you have a choice to become one or the other. Which is it going to be, right? With the people around you, right? You can either infect them, or you can, you know, heal them. And you can bring that presence, whether or not, because we're human beings, we have the ability to choose. And that's such a gift for us. And so, you know, let me know down in the comment section, where do you live? What state do you live, city or state do you live in? I'd love to know that. So for me, I live in El Dorado Hills, California. And so, you know, let me know down below. Just want to see a few hands who are on live. Chime in and let me know, what state and city do you live in? So here's the thing. It doesn't matter what state or city you live in. Okay, so that's the point I was going to get at. it's really your emotional state that matters. So you could be living in sunny Hawaii or something, or Florida, and the beach in Florida, right? But it doesn't matter if it's sunny, like you bring the sunshine. So what's your emotional state that you're currently in? Because that's really what matters, right? So most people, I love this quote by Tony Robbins. It says, most people have a frequency, or most people have a freeway to pissed off and a dirt road to gratitude. So it's often most people, most people, so that's why I'm saying that, myself included, I have some days where I'm just like reactively acting based on my emotions, right? So now I'm going to share with you how to really build your emotional intelligence. So this is the activity that we're going to be doing on our Gracious Hustle community. So for you women who want to join it and really be a part of this run for 14 days, I welcome you to really just type in I want to join below on the comment section below, and I will add you into our community, see if it's right for you, and then you can decide whether or not you want to join the challenge. So there's 5 steps to really building your emotional intelligence. And if you have a pen and paper, cool. If you're driving, do not do this. We have it in our community, so I can add you into there to write it down. But so it goes, write down the 5 positive emotions that you felt last week. So what are some of the positive emotions and words that you can come up with that you felt last week? And I'm sure you did feel some, like let's just say gratitude, compassion, giving, happy, content, peaceful, joyful. What are 5 words that you can write down? Okay, the second one, part 2 of number 1 is, what are 5 negative emotions that you felt last week or even today? What are some emotions that you felt? Okay, so for me, it was impatience, right? It was, lazy, maybe, right? It was frustrated. It was, whatever those words are, write down 5 of those words, right? Lena, I'll get you into that community, and then you can join us with the 14-day program. So I'm excited for you. So write down 5 negative emotions, and there's a reason for this, okay? So now you're gonna write down 5 emotional triggers that get you to build up that negative emotion. So what are some of those triggers? Maybe you're hungry, maybe you're sleepy, maybe you're thirsty, maybe it's because you hear these words that back then didn't resonate with you. So like for instance, during my exercise, I had shared that I react negatively when someone tells me that I should do something or I need to do something. Even when I tell myself I need to do this, I need to do these income producing activities today. I need to do my reach outs. Or when my spouse tells me, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm just like, whatever, like Ralphie from the Christmas Story says, fudge. So I end up like really acting out of anger when someone tells me that. So that's my trigger that I need to be more self-aware of, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It just means that I need to be more empathetic to the other person, which leads me to the next one. Okay, so it is, this step number 2, or the how to really build your emotional intelligence. Step 2 is to press pause. Okay, hit the brakes. All right, when a situation arises, when you know that blood is boiling up, when you know your body is starting to react towards the situation negatively, literally press pause and really just start breathing, because this gives you time to really become self-aware of that emotion and that feeling that you're having, right? And what one of my mentors had shared with me, Justin, he shared that, E plus R equals O, right? Event plus response equals your outcome. And he replaced that response word with, it used to be react. Event plus react equals outcome, right? But as business owners and as someone who's really taking control of their lives intentionally, it's important to not react to situations, right? It's important to respond, because response gives you a choice on whether or not you're doing, reacting positively or negatively. So that gives you the personal power from within side of you to really go out there and respond to the situation. Yeah, the circumstance is like not optimal, but how am I going to respond to it? What can I do, right? Versus, oh my God, hell no, during that road rage, like, oh heck no, like let me get him, right? That's reacting. So, that's the outcome that you're going to get, right? Is how you respond to it. So we're trying to make it positive in a way that serves you and really the world around you, right? So how am I going to really choose to respond is gonna be the driving force in that situation when, you need to press the pause button, right? You need to really just press pause in that situation where you would have otherwise snapped. And again, never quit on a bad day, right? If you really want to send that text to someone when you're in that urge of like, oh my God, I'll tell them, I gotta tell them, like they're gonna really, really, really regret what they said, right? Never quit on a bad day and never send that text on a bad day. Wait till the following morning to really, breathe and inhale and really get your thoughts together, so that you can see that whether or not it's worth sending that text. And so the third one is ask others for perspective. And I know as business owners and as network marketers, we always say, we don't care what people think. It doesn't matter what people think about us, right? Well, it does matter, right? It does matter when it's the right people. So it matters what the right people think. So it's really important to ask other people and kind of humble down as a human being, ask for perspective, ask for their honest opinion and their feedback when it's a negative situation, when you're going through some challenges and struggles. We might have some false narratives behind us that we're telling our stories, right? So it's important to really gain perspective from people who matter, right? People who can give you honest, non-biased feedback, and that will allow you to grow and really move your needle forward into becoming a better version from what you were yesterday. Okay, so it's false when people say, who cares what people think? I don't care what people think, because of course you want to care what people think, but it's the right people that really matter about, the approach to you and your situation and how you want to handle it, right? And so I really had to humble myself down, when I felt that I really didn't care what people thought, and it wasn't serving me. I always thought what I thought was always accurate. And how many of you guys can relate and agree that, sometimes the thoughts in our heads are not the accurate thoughts. So it's always great to ask for perspective from people who can give you that guidance as far as where, you might have those blind spots in your life, right? Okay, so number 4, and we're almost done, is to increase empathy. And this is one of the things that really changed my life, is when I sought to understand people first and to listen to people first, then to be understood myself. Because so many times people who are having conversation, they just really want to attack. They're not even really listening to what the other person is saying. They're just waiting to get their word in, right? So I challenge you starting today, to maybe if you have a spouse or a child, to start listening to really what they're saying. And this doesn't mean you have to necessarily agree to them or agree with them, but it gives you the ability to really step into their shoes and their story and really ask, okay, so if I had to really see it from their perspective and their viewpoint, how would I look at it? Because maybe you would see what they're coming from, right? It's like us as business owners, we use the feel, felt, found, right? We can use that in our personal life too, to really, grow as a family and with our relationships with our spouse and our children, right? I felt this, I feel this way because whatever, right? It's really allowing you to see it from their perspective first before you react, right? So most oftentimes we are so quick to diagnose and prescribe, or we're so quick to prescribe something to someone before even diagnosing the situation and really getting to the root of why they're thinking the way they are, right? So that was really huge for me, and I think that can help some of you to really go out there and really stop so that you can respond to the situation versus react already without even seeking to understand their viewpoint first, okay? And the 5th one is so huge too. I mean, it may sound cheesy and it might sound like cliche, but it's to optimize your daily habits, because so often we're living in a world that we're creatures of habit, right? So one important thing that we really need to do is really adapt a good workout routine, like just to get physical for at least 15 to 30 minutes a day, because we know that we're working out not because of some people work out to lose weight and to look good, right? But for this purpose, as far as increasing your emotional intelligence, it's important to start working out because of your brain, right? Because we know that when we work out, it releases, serotonin and dopamine, and really allows us to operate in a more positive light, right? Inside our own body and our minds. So what is your workout pattern? And inside that Gracious Hustle community, we're going to be doing a 14-day challenge that includes working out for at least 15 to 30 minutes, right? And not for, to increase your biceps or anything, but to really increase your brain power, right? And then also your water intake, because I know water is so huge, right? And staying hydrated and really being intentional about waking up in the morning and really hydrating yourself before your foot hits the floor is going to be so crucial. And really upkeeping your hydration throughout the day is going to allow your blood and your cells to really be optimally performing into your brain and your gut, right? So hydrating yourself. And here's another huge one, is hanging out with the right people, right? Who are you hanging out with? Who are you surrounding yourself with that is also seeking to, personally grow and increase their emotional intelligence in life, right? And so that's what I love about, the network marketing industry. And it's my shameless plug here, is because I know it's allowed me to really get uncomfortable, but also do it, alongside other women who are growing into their best version of themselves and really growing their emotional intelligence. And who better yet to do life with than people who are also seeking that which you're seeking, right? So, the business that we're part of is allowing us not to only, earn an income, but it's also really, more importantly, growing us into becoming more aware of, how we're reacting to our family and our business and with others, right? Because sometimes life can get so isolating that, we don't know where, the compass is leading us. We don't have a compass and a moral compass anymore, right? So it's so important to surround yourself with those kind of people who will allow you to grow together while you're getting uncomfortable and building your emotional intelligence. So here's a recap. Reflect on your own emotions, press pause, ask for perspective, and increase your empathy for others, and optimize your habits or your daily habits, and write it in a journal. So, I hope you guys really got value to this. This is something that I learned today from one of my mentors, and I'm relearning it again. And I love this because it's been something that's been so huge in my journey as far as, a person of my faith, and really allowing others to see that there is hope, in the midst of their challenges. And, it's allowing me to spread that hope to you guys too. So hope you guys got value. If you got value to it, then feel free to share it in your Facebook or Instagram, because I know someone out there might be needing this hope as well for them. And let me know what your best takeaway was down below in the comment section, and I'll reach out to you and give you a congrats in being intentional as you move forward in life. So take care and God bless, and I will see you guys later.